After watching this program, you will understand why sidewalk salt harms the environment, how salt gets into our rivers and lakes, how to choose and use the best tools to remove snow and ice, when to use, and how to apply the proper amount of salt and sand. During this program, we use the term de-icers when we speak of the variety of chemicals used to melt snow and ice. Hello and welcome to our video on outdoor winter maintenance. The purpose of this video is to help you make good choices in winter maintenance tools, techniques, and products. With good choices, winter maintenance will become easier for you and will help protect our water resources. If you're involved in shoveling snow or applying de-icers, this video is for you. You are an important person. The actions you take can make our sidewalks safe or slippery. But even more important than that, what we all do affects what lives in our favorite lakes and rivers. Minnesota's lakes and streams are getting saltier each year. Much of it is related to winter salt use. Would you pour a bag of sidewalk salt into your favorite fishing lake? Of course not, but that's exactly what we're doing. Salt is a long-term pollutant. It doesn't go away. It accumulates in our water. Shoveling our driveways and sprinkling salt on our steps is very common. How can that affect our lakes? It may sound a bit far-fetched until we investigate how salt moves from our sidewalk into the water.
Well, everything that we do on land, whether it be on a parking lot or another hard surface, definitely impacts water quality in those water bodies. And you can see here we've got sand that's been applied that is collected here, and it's going to end up in the storm drain, and it will go to the Mississippi River. The storm drain is connected to a series of underground pipes, and these pipes funnel the water to the nearest water body, which could be a river or a lake or a pond. There is no water treatment plant at the end of this storm drain. It goes strictly to a water body.
Therefore, we don't want salt entering our storm drains. Most sidewalk salts contain chlorides, sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, or calcium chloride. The chlorides can be very dangerous to aquatic life. To protect our lakes, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency recommends chloride concentrations less than 230 milligrams per liter. 230 milligrams per liter is about the same concentration as 1 teaspoon of salt mixed into 5 gallons of water. How much water would be polluted by your container of salt? You have all the power to protect our lakes and rivers by using less. At your home, take a look by your front steps. Any dead grass or brown shrubs? How about pitted concrete, ruined rugs, or indoor flooring? Any rust on your tools or cars? These are all common symptoms of over-applying salt. Let's talk about small changes we can make to keep our surfaces safe and reduce problems. As we go through this section, keep an open mind. See what tips can help you. Our number one strategy is early snow removal. Shovel, plow, scrape, blow, or sweep, it doesn't matter. They all work. A cleared surface allows us to use less salt. Always remove the snow first. Then, if necessary, use the salt to melt away the few remaining crumbs. Never apply salt to the unshoveled snow. It is an irresponsible and ineffective practice. Remove as much snow as possible before applying de-icers. What should we use to remove the snow? Choosing the correct tool will make the job much easier. For a dry, light snow, try using a broom to keep the snow cleared off your surfaces. For a heavier snow, use the shovel. Shovels come in many varieties, but the basic two are the push shovel and the scoop shovel. The scoop shovel has small sides to help keep the snow on the shovel. They're good for lifting and moving the snow elsewhere. They're good for working in small, tight quarters. The push shovel has no sides. They're good for guiding or sliding the snow on the ground. Generally, you can move more snow faster with a push shovel. Choose the proper shovel and your job will be easier. Early snow removal reduces your chance of icy compacted surfaces. If we're late at snow removal and we've walked or driven over the snow, it will likely turn to ice. This means more work. If you're always battling compacted snow and ice, reassess your maintenance strategy. Start snow removal early, don't wait. Remember, early snow removal helps avoid slippery compacted surfaces. Removing compacted snow is much more work than shoveling fluffy snow. To remove compaction, your best tools are the ice chisel and the ice scraper. The ice scraper has a wider, flexible blade. It cannot pound through the ice, but it slides and wiggles like a putty knife under the ice. The ice chisel is more rigid. It can be used to break through this ice or scrape the ice. Be careful when using chisels to not chip the concrete. What should you apply to the sidewalk after you've finished removing the snow? There are so many choices, rows and rows of de-icers at the store. It's confusing and very few of us know what to look for.
Are you wondering what to buy to treat the ice and snow on your driveway? It's kind of confusing. There's a lot of products available. For most days, average winter days, these will all work. But when it gets super cold, then you need to find a product that contains a magnesium or a calcium chloride or something like a glycol. Or you can switch to sand, which isn't going to melt anything, but it will provide traction for you.
As we've just heard, most de-icers work on average winter days. Some, like magnesium chloride or calcium chloride, work on very cold days. All de-icers work in the same way. They melt better at warmer temperatures. Avoid applying them when it's extremely cold. Although it's not required by law, all de-icer packages should list their ingredients. Without this information, you can't make an informed decision. Don't buy it if the ingredients aren't listed.
From the retail standpoint, we haven't found, or we haven't been given a product that I could say is great for the environment. All of them can, have their negative side, and all of them do work to a degree, but there is a negative part to them. And so I would just say that they should all be used carefully and not overused.
How much de-icer should you use? If you remove most of the snow and ice, then you should need about 4 pounds or even less per 1,000 square feet. What does 1 pound of salt look like? Let's find out.
So how much is 1 pound of salt? Approximately 1 full coffee mug weighs 1 pound. It's important to remember that we only want to use between 1 and 4 pounds of salt per 1,000 square foot area. Hey Roman, let's measure the sidewalk. Will you hold this end?
You should know the size of the area you are planning to treat so you can use the proper amount of salt.
101.
For example, the space taken up by a parked car is about 150 square feet, needing about a half a pound of salt. When you do this estimating exercise, don't be surprised at the small amount of de-icer you really need. If you don't know your square feet and you don't know how much your de-icer weighs, concentrate on recreating this spread pattern. Notice no overlapping crystals or mini piles of de-icer. The crystals are no more than 3 inches apart, but they're not dense. There's a space between all of them. You would rarely need de-icer spread more densely than this. Remember what this spread pattern looks like, then you'll be able to recreate this on your surfaces. If you're not sure, err on using less. You can always reapply if necessary. If you try to use a spreader in a narrow area, you will salt your lawn and bushes. That's no good. Instead of a spreader, use a shaker or spread the salt by hand. No matter what you use, try to recreate the same spread pattern. Remember, never more than 4 cups per 1,000 square feet. No salt or very little salt is needed if you've done a good job on snow removal. If you have a slippery spot, like the bottom step or the edge of the sidewalk, you should know the size of the area that needs treatment and use the proper amount of salt. Once the sand or salt is on bare pavement, it's time to sweep it up. It will only add to a slippery walking situation and track into your house. Sweep it up. You can put it in the trash, in a bucket for use later on, or reapply it to an area of compaction. To keep de-icers spreadable, store them in a tightly covered container. Many of our salts attract moisture to themselves and turn into a solid lump if we leave them uncovered. Keep an eye out for problem areas at your home. For example, the dip in the sidewalk that collects water and freezes every night. Water that drips from the roof and refreezes on your steps. These are hazard areas. Salt is not the long-term solution. During the summer, make it a point to fix drainage issues so there'll be no problems next winter. If you don't want to do your own snow removal, consider hiring a knowledgeable contractor.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming. I have a lot of snow. I came from Russia. The winter is Minnesota is the same as in Russia. I like a winter, but I don't like to shovel snow. Usually I hire a company listed on the MPCA website. This company has been training and understands how to keep my sidewalk clean without using so much salt.
We recommend the certified snow removal companies listed on the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's website. If you choose other companies, make sure you tell them to use the minimum salt necessary. No more than 4 cups for 1,000 square feet.
It's nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
When walking outdoors, don't expect surfaces to be perfectly cleared. Wear sturdy boots or shoes to make walking safer. How about your pets? How does the salt we use affect them? Here's some advice.
You wondering what's safe for your pets? Many products will say on the label that they're safe for pets, but what you really want to do is look at the ingredients. Many are irritating for pets' paws, and some, like the calcium and magnesium chlorides, can even burn your pets. So you want to look for something that contains either a glycol or, better yet, use nothing or sand.
Now you know what to do to help your hound dog, but you don't have control over how much is applied on the public roads and paths. If you walk your dog in the winter, you may want to cover their feet or wash them off when you return from your walk. Teach your children. Tell them what you're doing. If you use 1 less teaspoon of salt, you will protect 5 gallons of water from being polluted. This means that if you use 5 pounds less, you will save over 1,000 gallons of water from being polluted. I'm sure that your children and your grandchildren will be very impressed. In review, we hope that you take to heart that winter salt harms our lakes, rivers, and groundwater. So remove the snow. Use the proper tool for the situation. Apply salt only to cleared surfaces. Apply salt in the proper spread pattern with no overlapping crystals. Use no more than 4 cups per 1,000 square feet. If it's too cold where salts won't work, use sand. If it's a warm melting day, use no salt. If there's salt or sand on the cement, clean it up. If you don't want to do winter maintenance, hire a certified snow contractor. You are a very important person. By changing your winter maintenance habits, you can protect our lakes and rivers. Most important of all, we will leave a better world for our children.